Yeah, it's on.
Bop, bop.
Another winter celebration called the Festival of Lights is from
Sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt.
they'll be, no, I mean, but they actually won't sing it.
You're good. You know when you start playing the Santa Lucia melody during the reading, because that's what this is. Dark notes come up.
Yep.
This is the very first one, right? Emma.
Should I just start playing that like while I'm reading?
Yes.
Probably just start talking about Sweden and I'll start.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Abby Vaughn, and I am the lay leader today. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. Whether you have been with this church a decade or more, or this is your first time visiting, we welcome you. Whatever the faith and traditions of your past, we welcome you. Whatever your theological stance, we welcome you. Whoever you are and whomever you love, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, whatever your journey has been, we welcome you. Newcomers and guests are always welcome to participate in any of our church activities. If you'd like more information about our church or Unitarian Universalism, please talk to our Director of Lifespan Faith Development, Dana Poss, or one of our board members. You can find contact information for Dana and the board on our website. As our services are currently led by members of this congregation or outside guest speakers, every week will be different. If you are visiting our church for the first time, please come back again to experience the variety of services being offered. We have a couple of announcements today. First, as many of you know, the AL comprehensive sexual education classes really took a beating during the pandemic. While we are rebuilding that program, we would like to offer an alternative to AL, specifically age-appropriate sexuality education classes that are grounded in our UU values in partnership with parents and their children and youth. We are currently planning classes that we hope will begin in early 2023, but we would like to get feedback from interested families in order to design a program that best meets your needs. If you are interested, you can fill out a very brief questionnaire online. It's linked in the CYFD newsletter, but we'll also have tablets in Friendship Hall after the service that you can use to complete the questionnaire as well. We also have a couple of notes about upcoming services. There will not be a service on Christmas Day. However, the Christmas Eve potluck and service is back, and it will be held on Christmas Eve. Yay! The potluck begins at 6 p.m. We're not assigning people dishes, so if you attend the potluck, just bring a favorite dish with you. The service begins at 7:30, and if you have any questions, please contact Andy Zadnik. Lastly, we will have a regular service on New Year's Day. As for today, please join us for coffee hour following the service. And again, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. It is good to be together, both in person and virtually.
Flaming chalice, symbol of our living tradition, we kindle you for light.
Light in this darkest season of the year. Light to reveal the sources of greed and hate among us. Light to guide our way forward together.
Chalice flame, we kindle you for love.
Love to keep our hands and hearts warm in the wintry cold. Love to comfort us as our hearts break for the pain of the world. Love to bring us into community so we may grow stronger together.
Chalice flame, we kindle you for hope.
Hope that the sun will shine again. Hope that one day soon peace will prevail. Hope that we may build the beloved community together.
For light, love, and hope,
we kindle our flame this night. Morning. Our opening hymn is number 226, People Look East in the Gray Hymnal. The words will also be on the screen. Please stand if you are willing or able.
Good morning. I'm Ruth Horwitz from the Lay Pastoral Care Team. During our service, we create this sacred space for sharing within our community. It is a time to share significant life passages with the congregation so that you can be held in loving care. We did not have any submitted joys and sorrows this morning, so Susan Powers will place one stone in the sand for all the joys and sorrows that exist in our hearts but remain unspoken today. The sand represents our congregation supporting the sorrows and lifting up the joys. We especially think of our church community as we move through this transition period to the future. Please know that the Lay Pastoral Care Team is here for you to listen and support you. You can always reach us collectively via the Breeze form, by our email, uucnh.org, or individually as you choose. From far and near, please say with me our caring words. Let us hold in our circle of caring each person here. Let us hold in our hearts those who are unable to be with us today. Let us hold in our memories those who have moved on. Let us find comfort in knowing that we are not alone.
We know that our financial contributions to this congregation come from sacrifice and hard work. We are so grateful for this and commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. If you're here with us today in person, collection baskets will be passed, or you can take your offering to the basket in the back. If you're joining us virtually, you can make your offering by mailing a check to the church or on the uucnh.org website. Our December Share the Plate recipient is the North Hills Community Outreach. North Hills Community Outreach is a community and interfaith-based organization addressing the needs of people in crisis, hardship, and poverty in northern Allegheny County. They provide a variety of services, including food pantries, utilities, and other emergency assistance, employment programs, senior services, Ask the Attorney, and tax preparation for qualifying individuals. The morning offering will now be given and gratefully received. The dedication of the offering. The words will be on screen. May these gifts and the work of our hands and hearts give power to all we stand for as a community of faith.
In the past, we have retold many old stories from around the world at this special time of year, reliving and rethinking some of our holiday traditions. A common thread woven through many winter holiday traditions and stories is the presence of light. The light of a candle, a star, a bonfire, the light of love, of life, of God. Today, some of our families and youth in our faith development program will present to you a world of winter lights as we revisit some of these age-old traditions, looking for meaning and understanding and noticing their beauty. We invite you to join us on a journey through these traditions, a journey through a world of winter lights.
One winter holiday celebration of lights is Santa Lucia Day. It is celebrated every December 13th in Sweden. In Sweden, the winters are very dark and long and bitterly cold. The northern part of Sweden lies above the Arctic Circle, where the winter is like night, with no daylight at all.
If you had lived in Sweden long ago, you would have dreaded the longest night of the year because everyone thought that bad spirits prowled the dark night to do evil. People longed for a friendly spirit to bring back the light and to frighten away the demons. In time, over the centuries, people pictured this spirit of light in their minds as a young girl wearing a crown of candles in her hair.
Eventually, the Christians turned the celebration of December 13th into a time to honor the Christian saint, Santa Lucia. Lucia means light. There are different stories about Santa Lucia. One story says that during a time of famine, when nothing would grow, St. Lucia came to Sweden bringing food and drink to the starving people.
Today, in Sweden, nearly every home celebrates Santa Lucia Day. The oldest daughter in the family represents Saint Lucia, the Queen of Lights. She gets up at dawn, makes coffee, and bakes special holiday treats. Then she dresses in a white gown with red sash and puts on a crown made of evergreens topped with real candles. Her younger sisters dress in white robes too. The boys in the family dress as star boys with white robes and wands topped with stars. The candles on Santa Lucia's crown are lighted, and she carries the tray of coffee and buns to her parents' room. She wakes them up by singing a song called Santa Lucia, accompanied by her brothers and sisters.
Please join us in singing Santa Lucia. The words and music are printed in your order of service.
December is a traditional time of waiting, of tension between anticipation and fulfillment. Another candle lighting tradition is Advent. Advent is a time of waiting for the coming of Christ, light of the world, and the birth of Christ.
Lighting candles was incorporated in Christian church services to symbolize hope and the coming of Christ as the light of the world. Advent means coming or arrival. It is the beginning of the liturgical year. It is also a time of preparation for the anniversary of the birth of Jesus. It reminds us of God's eternity and endless mercy, which has no beginning or end and represents the hope of eternal life.
The 4 candles, one for each Sunday in December, represent the period of waiting during the 4 Sundays of Advent. 3 of the candles are purple and 1 is pink. Purple is a liturgical color that signifies a time of prayer, penance, and sacrifice. Pink represents joy. The white candle in the middle represents Christ. Lighting the Advent candles one at a time on December Sunday is a thoughtful and joyous way to prepare for the holidays.
On the first Sunday, we light the first purple candle, which symbolizes hope. It is often called the prophecy candle in remembrance of the prophets, especially Isaiah, who foretold the birth of Christ. It represents the expectation felt in anticipation of the coming Messiah.
On the second Sunday, we light the second purple candle. It represents faith. It is called the Bethlehem candle, as a reminder of Mary and Joseph's journey to Bethlehem.
On the third Sunday, we light the pink candle. This symbolizes joy and is known as the shepherd's candle. It is meant to remind us of the joy that the world experienced at the birth of Jesus, as well as the joy that the faithful have reached the midpoint of Advent.
On the fourth Sunday, we light the final purple candle to mark the final week of prayer and penance. This candle is called the angel's candle and symbolizes peace and reminds us of the message of the angels, peace on earth, goodwill towards all.
And on Christmas Eve, we light the Christ candle in the center. The color white represents purity and represents the sinless life of Jesus.
Blessed be and amen.
Please open your hymnal or take a look at the screen. We'll be reading responsive reading number 616, For So the Children Come. I will read the plain print lines and congregation will respond with the italic lines. For so the children come, and so they have been coming.
Always in the same way they come, born in the seed of man and woman.
No angels herald their beginnings. No prophets predict their future courses.
No wise men see a star to show where to find the babe that will save humankind.
Yet each night a child is born is a holy night.
Fathers and mothers, sitting beside their children's graves, feel glory in the sight of a new life beginning.
They ask, where and how will this new life end? Or will it ever end?
Each night a child is born is a holy night, a time for singing,
a time for wondering, a time for worshiping. Please join us in singing hymn number 225, O Come, Emmanuel.
Another winter celebration called the Festival of Lights is from the Jewish tradition and is known as Hanukkah. About 175 BCE, that's almost 2,200 years ago, invaders took over the Jewish temples. Judah Matthias and his 7 sons, including Judas Maccabee, whose name means the hammer of God, defeated the invaders in what became known as the Maccabees' Revolt.
When they returned to the temple and were ready to light the lamp of life to rededicate the temple, there was only a tiny amount of sanctified oil available. Keeping the flame lit was very important, and miraculously, this flame lasted for 8 days, long enough for messengers to return with a full store of oil. Today, the menorah has 8 candles to represent the 8 days of the flame burned. The main theme of Hanukkah is rededication. This is a time to notice the little things that happen, to open our eyes to bigger things, and then open our hearts to liberation and rededication to our spiritual practice.
The date of Hanukkah is determined according to the Jewish lunar or moon-based calendar and is different each year. Hanukkah can start in November or in December. The menorah is lit from left to right, 1 candle for each of the 8 days of Hanukkah using a shamas, or service candle. This morning, in honor of the light of Judaism, we will light them all.
While the candles are lit each night, a prayer is spoken in Hebrew. In English, this prayer reads, "Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah lights."
Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed miracles for our ancestors in days gone by, at this, the Hanukkah season.
And now, if you'll stand and please join in singing hymn number 221, Light One Candle.
In the Northern Hemisphere, this is the time of the winter solstice, a celebration of transition from dark back to light. Winter solstice falls on the shortest day of the year. The celebration is in honor of the returning light and the power that comes in the sun's rays. It is a time of rest and renewal, a preparation for the coming year. It is a balance between dark and light.
Black candle represents the dark side of the spiral, and for 6 more days the darkness will reign until the solstice arrives, the longest night of the year.
The white candle represents the return of light, and in 7 days the wheel will have turned and light will reign once again. We spiral around the sacred, ever-turning wheel of the year and arrive back again at the same but new place, and we celebrate our journey.
Here is a solstice prayer. Blessings on this winter solstice day, that the sun might return once more. Blessings for the people, that light might shine in their hearts and peace may prevail. Blessings for the earth, that grows life deep in her womb, that people shall care for her. Blessings for winter solstice day, merry Yule, happy home, contented hearth. Blessed, blessed be. Now please join in singing the first 2 verses of hymn number 72, Has Summer Come Now Dawning, a hymn for the winter solstice.
We visited a wealth of lights around the world and a rich diversity of humankind. There is so much we all have in common with each other. Let us consider how our own Unitarian Universalist principles could spark our spirit in this season throughout the year.
You are invited to reflect on the meaning of each principle. Take a moment to be with whatever thoughts or images come to you in the middle of this winter holiday season. A soft chime will sound just before the next reading. Get comfortable, draw a deep breath, and let it out slowly and fully.
Our first principle is read, for respect the importance and value of all beings.
Our second principle is orange, for offer fair and kind treatment to everyone.
Our third principle is yellow, for yes to spiritual growth and learning together.
Our fourth principle is green, for grow by exploring ideas and finding your truth.
Our fifth principle is blue, for believe in our ideas, our ideals, and voice your vote.
Our sixth principle is indigo, for insist on justice, freedom, and peace for all.
Our seventh principle is violet, for value our responsibility in the web of life.
The chalice light and the covenant of 7 principles are symbolic of love that lights our lives. Each day can be a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to embrace diversity and to foster love, fairness, and hope. Again did the earth shift. Again did the days grow short. Again the nights long. And the people of the earth were glad and celebrated, each in their own ways. We are all part of the interdependent web of life, illuminated by a world of winter lights.
Please join me in affirming our mission statement. By building a loving religious community that nourishes the spirit, celebrates life, and cherishes the connectedness of all things, we will transform ourselves and our world. When the candle dims, the wax almost spent, the light turns amber like a sunset. Still it provides light, still it provides heat. Still, it can kindle a new flame and pass its glow on and contribute to new illumination. When sunsets turn to new days, when seasons transform all, when the candle dims, all is not lost. Hope continues, uncertain and true, like candlelight, ready to spark again. All is not lost.